And welcome back to the Games, an exclusive video here just for my YouTube audience. I wanted to get into a little bit about what's going on with ship valuation. There's a whole big discussion going on within my community about, whether that pricing that we saw at CitizenCon was significant or not in terms of like ship cost being at 1.6 million, that valuation being placed by SIG. It's just a placeholder, or whether it's something that's going to be set as a price within the game. I'm pretty sure that it is just a placeholder. I'm pretty sure that in order for us to get into like how much it's really going to take in order to make those credits in game to make that 1.6 million is determined upon a few factors. Let me name them. Let me get a little bit more specific and detailed into valuations of ships, what it means when SIG places an initial valuation of 1.6 million on a prospector, and just how you can make that particular money in the game. So first off, I want to talk about SIG putting the 1.6 million value on it. It's significant in the fact that this is what they think the ship is worth initially. Whether it's a placeholder or not, there are people within SIG, Chris especially, that have a market, a real life tangible business that needs to make money. And that money supports the funding of the game. And the amount of money, real life, that has been spent on ships is over $200 million. They need that pipeline to continue. They need the revenue to keep coming in so that they can keep making this game. And so ship valuation within the game has to be set very high, because what it's going to put into the minds of people that are backing it and are going to play this game is that it might be a viable option to buy the ship now that you like, rather than wait to make those credits in game. We're not quite sure, and this slides into the segue about the mission rewards, right? And the amount of money that you can make industrially speaking, as a trader, as a miner, as an organization member, these types of roles in the game, bounty hunter, all the different types of careers within the game. It gives us kind of an idea that we have to look into what the average reward on mission grinding is going to be, the average intake on what a miner is going to be, as far as income, the average trader, I would imagine that as a trader within the game, if you buy yourself a decent trading ship, even down to the size of a freelancer, which I would consider like a medium to small size trading versus like a haul, these types of trading ships, or let's for instance say an Orion, which is a very large mining ship. Now we can imagine that if a prospector is 1.6 million credits, then the Orion is going to be significantly many times more, if in the billions, is what I would say. And you have to look at, are these ships attainable in the game? Now, a lot of people would say it's not even worth theory crafting right now. It's not worth it. There's plenty of people out there that would say that, but I wholeheartedly disagree, because this is the economy. This is going to be the economy that is slated that we're going to get into when we get into the verse. And it's very important to talk about these issues so that SIG can hear some of the worries, some of the frustrations, some of the valid concerns, rational concerns. I got a lot of flack on the video that I had earlier, and I'll put the comment over there, but I will never censor my reactions. These are my real, actual reactions as a real backer. And White Knights would have you believe that I am reacting horribly, and you can't believe it, and it's so misinformed. And this is an actual, reaction to 1.6 million value placeholder set on a ship within the game. And the mission that we were shown was 4,000 mission reward, and it took about 40 minutes. So at that particular, the maths, as it were, to get there took us around the 300 hours at $4,000 per mission to get this prospector, which is a significant amount of time. And it's something worth discussing at the very, very least. And I think it's important that our voice gets out there so that people can hear the concerns. But I do think that it's all relative to risk versus reward on missioning and industrial type of operations. So all in all, I think that it's going to be within SIG's kind of realm to make these types of starter ships, because I wouldn't call the prospector you know, a Cadillac of mining ships. I mean, it's kind of like a starter kind of mining ship, and there's going to be more mining ships, I'm sure, as we go down the road here. But you don't want to make like initial kind of starter ships very hard to get within the game. That's going to dissuade a lot of people from wanting to play. And some people don't want to put that real life money into it because we're at the fan funded point. And when you're starting to play the game, if people just get into it upon release, and these things are just initially very hard to get into, that's going to kind of dampen the amount of population within the game, player population, and would be very bad. Would be very bad for the game. So I'm pretty sure that SIG knows this, and I just wanted to get a little bit more detailed into ship valuation. And but it is interesting that they put that particular price figure in, and we can also talk about and have a discussion on, you know, how important it is that players have some type of impact on valuation, some type of impact. You know, there's a lot of people scared about player driven economies, and I am very pro player driven economies, and a lot of people out there disagree with me, but I'm not going to censor the fact that, you know, I want to placate to popular opinion because I'm not that type of guy. I'm not a sellout. I am a very real, rational backer, and I want to see a game where we do have effect on valuation, because I think it's an important part of the gameplay for people that enjoy industrial activities. This isn't just a PvP or mission grinding game. This is a game that also brings in a lot of industrialists, and a lot of industrialists like player-driven economies. There will be a few out there that don't, but for the most part, if you are playing an industrial type fashion within this game, you prefer player-driven mechanics when it comes to the economy. And valuation is very important within the game. Now, I'm going to look into, within the next week or two, Tony Zerovic, who I absolutely think is one of the best people to have within this project. And he had an interesting talk about the economy. And I'm going to go into that particular video, and I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see what he has to say. I might release another video after watching. But I think this is a great talking point for the entire community. I think it's important that we share this. I think it's important that we get this out here, because it needs a voice. This needs a voice, because it's a valid concern. It's something definitely worth talking about within the Star Citizen community. And for more detail, I wanted to get a little bit more detail for the people that needed the detail and didn't watch the entire CitizenCon on the stream that we had the other day, which was absolutely fun. Thanks everybody for joining me on that stream. I had an absolute blast with everybody, and I appreciate all the support. You guys are amazing, and continued Star Citizen content on the channel here, getting into some game reviews and some other types of content. Check out the channel. Think about becoming a patron. We need help here, and we're having a fun time in this community. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and I will see you on the next vid.